It is Wednesday, December 17th at 11:13 p.m. Umbreon does not like that. 11:13 p.m. EST, of course. As you all know, I live on the East Coast of the United States, so that's what time it is here. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes for people to pile in here, but we're going to watch the president say some words. He's got about 20 minutes of words to say, so. Oh, God. I could hear myself on my phone. I don't want that. But it's time. I haven't watched this yet, so I don't know what words he says. I watched like the first couple minutes, I guess, so I know some of the words. To be fair, I know a couple of the words that he says. At least a few. Hey, Fuzzy B. Good to see you. I figure if the president is allowed to say words, I should be too. I think it's only fair. Right? I think it's a reasonable expectation that I should be allowed to say words. If he gets to do it. He may have the best words, but I also have words. Hey, Callie Dime. Good to see you. Have you guys heard Trump's words yet? "18 full minutes of words." I don't know if we've watched many just Trump speeches on this channel. He does say a lot of words. But so do I. I also say a lot of words. That is something Trump and I have in common. We both say many words. Fuzzy says, words are rights. Praise. Where he brags about himself and mentions gas and egg prices again. Well, of course, yeah, he always bragging about himself. I mean, gas is, not as expensive as it was, I guess, a year ago, maybe. We can have a conversation about whether or not Trump did anything about that. Are egg prices down? I mean, eggs have been relatively cheap since the beginning of the year. Skilled Tadpole says he says a lot of the same words over and over. Yeah, the 2 minutes I saw, give or take, it was like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes, it was really just like a best of. It was like just all his greatest hits. Like they sent him here from asylums, and Democrats made everything expensive. Oh, you guys hear that yawn? I heard me, 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 me. Yeah, I thought this address was to the nation. I thought he was talking to the nation, not to the mirror. Calvin says Twitter had some funny tweets on his recital. His recital? I haven't watched this yet, so. But I'm sure there's some good memes coming from it. Or it's terrifying. I don't know. For all I know, at the end of this, he declares martial law, and we're all cooked. Skilled Tadpole says, I'm staying at my parents' for a few months. They play Fox nonstop. This was billed as a speech to tout his economic accomplishments. Wait, is that really all it is? Just Trump bragging? We're just going to have to fact check everything. It's going to be exhausting. But hey, one of the few reasons that I like interacting with, observing, engaging with fascists is that they make so many claims, and it can be like a fun little puzzle to break down those claims and like find out what the truth is, which is almost never what they say, right? His opening statement gives you an idea of how the 20 minutes will go. Awesome. Hey, Phantom X. Animated effigy, good to see you. So this speech is the equivalent to his speech right before the COVID shutdowns. Everything is better than fine. I made it great. There's nothing to worry about. I expect an economic meltdown soon. Oh boy. Hi, Kazi. Should have made bingo cards. We could. That is an option. I mean, we could get the transcript. I was thinking about that, making something out of it. Hey, Gay Odyssey. How you doing, buddy? I'm not subscribed to the White House. Can you believe it? Probably should. But yeah, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Skilled Tadpole says, not going to lie, I thought about starting a YouTube series where I just take one Fox segment a week and break down all the lies. Never started because it sounds like an overwhelming amount of work. Well, fun fact, I believe that is more or less how Illinois congressional candidate and recent indictee of the DOJ, Kat Abu-Ghazaleh, got her start. Hey, Short Stack Goblin. Gay Odyssey says, I think MAGA is going through a hard time right now, but I also think it's a good time for the movement too. I mean, I agree they're going through a hard time. It's always kind of a good time for MAGA, you know, at least from their... There's something about, like, having no principles, no values, nothing you actually care about. It's got to be kind of freeing, right? I blocked them on X, the White House. That's funny. But yeah, good to see you, Short Stack Goblin. Oh. I don't know if my mic picked that up, but Umbreon's tummy just made a little grumbly noise. Maybe he's hungry. No ethics or morals. Yeah, nothing. Just really nothing going on in the core. Just kind of I actually I've come to really like Connor counterpoints his like definition of fascism, which I think it's simplistic, but I think it does capture the movement and the ideology very well, which is just the words flexible authoritarianism. And then, and then he goes on to, I guess he also says political corporatism, and then he goes on to draw a naked body and talk about how certain pieces of the economy are stored in the balls or whatever. I find that part kind of a little silly, but the flexible authoritarianism part, I really like that phrasing. Skilled Tadpole says, we're doing great as long as you don't listen to anyone reporting on what's happening. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, we're probably gonna, it's only 18 minutes long, so maybe we can dig through and try to fact check. Maybe not everything, but we can do a lot. Gay Odyssey says, Ryan, that's a great observation. I think there's something perpetually optimistic about MAGA. I believe in the paradigm shift. Yeah. All right, I won't put you down because you're gonna whine. Calvin says, way to interrupt the nation's regularly scheduled programming for event session. Who does that? A narc. A narcissist. A narc. Yeah. Sounds educational. It can be. It can be. It could be. Like, one thing I thought about doing before we even start is, like, just getting the transcript, which actually is right here. I can literally just copy it. Oh, my God, Umbreon. No, we're not doing this tonight. I almost didn't stream. I was laying down and I was like, man, I could really just sleep. I could just sleep in. But I've copied the transcript now. Please, sir. No, sir. So let's go into like, well, hey, you know what? We can also have fun with this because there's a new Gemini model, Gemini 3 Flash. Here. Why don't you eat this and don't whine? Huh? How's that sound? Do we have a deal? You enjoy that stick, and I get to enjoy my stream. Fair? We got a deal? We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Break this down into all of its falsifiable claims. What's the flash in Gemini 3 Flash? Oh, well, let me show you. No, it's basically it's fast. It's faster than Gemini 3 Pro. But interestingly enough, it's actually weirdly better than 3 Pro in a lot of ways, which is very intriguing. Because it suggests that they probably have an even better version of 3, perhaps like a 3.5, that is powerful. Especially given your interest in CRT, systemic impacts, and your background in coding and data. That's hilarious. I mean, it does a single query instead of a bunch of subqueries for Flash. There could be something about that. Ryan, that's so biased. Can you please pull out an equal number of true statements? Gay Odyssey, I said falsifiable, not give me the false statements. I said falsifiable statements. So I'm looking for statements that can be true or false, that can be verified, that are empirical in nature, things that we can Google, things that we can investigate, things we can find, we can come to some conclusion on, right? We can figure it out. We can determine whether or not it's false or true. Not give me all the false statements. Give me all the lies. I didn't do that. Although I don't think that would be inherently flawed to do. But that's not what I did. So I resent that. The implication that I would do such a thing that I don't even think is that bad to do. Well, you learn something new every day. You know, Gay Odyssey, we have a saying around here, and you're pretty new here, so you might not know this, but we say learning is radical. Say truth apt, not falsifiable. I don't know that phrase. Truth apt? Truth apt or truth aptitude is a philosophical term meaning a statement or sentence is capable of being true or false, expressing a proposition that can be verified or falsified. Unlike commands, close the door, or questions, what time is it? Okay, so it's kind of a synonym. Why would I say that instead of falsifiable? What's wrong with Umbreon? We had a deal. I gave you the stick, and you were going to not whine. That was our deal. You signed a contract. He signed you guys saw. I know Gay Odyssey is not new. Gay Odyssey is one of my longest standing viewers. Whoa. Ryan, I predate anybody in the chat. I know. You guys think I don't know that? You guys think I'm not just fucking with him? You know what we have to do? We gotta let this dog out. Who's letting the dogs out? It's me. Wait. Phantom X says, because it didn't understand falsifiable, so use a synonym that is less easy for AI to get wrong. Wait, didn't it? It said there's a significant amount of text to parse to help you with your YouTube content or debate. I've categorized these into falsifiable claims. Statements that can be proven true or false using specific data points, records, or economic metrics. I think it understood it just fine. Hi, Daphne Shepard. Syllables are many. Ain't that the truth? I think it understood falsifiable just fine. Gay Odyssey didn't understand falsifiable. But now he does, because he learned, and learning is radical. Thought you said it only gave you the falsified claims. No. Sorry. I was just clarifying to Gay Odyssey, yeah. Short Sec says he's lying, Gay Odyssey. These streamers are all narcissists that forget about us. That's true. Who even said that? I can't even tell. Given your interest, I love it. It's like giving your interest in CRT. Yasmin still shows up from time to time. Gay Odyssey. She comes around. I kind of want to I want to get a here. Let me take this list. Let's open up ChatGPT. Do a ton of research. Like, dig really, really, really deep. I know I don't really have to say all this stuff, and find the your best guess as for whether or not each of these claims is true or false, along with supporting data or conflicting data, etc. Evaluate to the best of your ability which ones are true and which are not, and which are questionable, uncertain, etc. And I'm going to take this same prompt, actually. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to send it here. And then I'm going to do the same thing in Gemini in a separate thread. I'm actually going to put thinking mode on, which I think is powered by 3.0 Pro. I'm going to throw that in. And I'm even going to let's do Grok. Grok 4.1. And why not? We could even do Claude. Research, presumably. Actually, I think research will do a really long thing, so I don't want to do that necessarily. Okay. And now, while all those LLMs are digging into each of these, let's see. Chatbot says, that's exactly how I described it. Trump says words. My friends were pissed. They interrupted Survivor. Tragic. You know, I don't think I've ever watched Survivor. I don't even think I've seen a single episode of Survivor. Skilled Tadpole says, it do be like that. Have to give ChatGPT a lot of encouragement. Yeah. I missed the latter half of your message because it scrolled away, but let's see. A lot of encouragement if you want it to be thorough in its research. Yeah. Where's the Trump fact check benchmark? I guess we're inventing it if nobody has made one. That would be actually a useful LLM benchmark. But you have to know, you have to already have, like to do benchmarks, right? You have to know what the correct answer is. So you have to have like a series of things that you can already verify. But anyway, let's hear from our favorite Mr. President guy who is very smart, has the greatest brain, has very large hands, and does not grab women inappropriately against their will.
And I'm in America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm
okay. 11 months ago, he did enter office. No, I'm just kidding. He did enter office 11 months ago. That part's true. Okay, first thing he said was true. I don't know about the mess part. That's a little bit debatable. Short stack. Is this falsifiable? Is one of the core questions in the theoretical physics to try to prevent BS like string theory. Interesting. Is string theory like just BS? Like I feel like there's like different versions of string theory that people describe. Did you see the pictures and plaques he put up? I've seen some pictures that I've seen a couple, I think. So yeah. Was that even one of the claims? Let me see. No, they get more specific. Okay.
And I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years. And
was inflation the worst in that might be true. Inflation was pretty bad. Is that one of the, let's see, is that one? Inflation was the worst in 48 years in history 11 months ago. Okay. ChatGPT still cooking. Gemini. All right. So the very first claim, according to Gemini, and we're going to dig into it, right? The auto pen picture for Biden. Does he have an auto pen picture of Biden? That's ridiculous. So Gemini finds the inflation worst in 48 years mostly false. So that means it's a little true. Right? So it says inflation peaked at 9.1% in June 2022. So that was under Biden, right? A 40-year high. By January 2025, 11 months ago, inflation had cooled significantly to around 2.5 to 3%. Okay. So in January 2025, according to Gemini, which was 11 months ago, when Trump entered the office, inflation had cooled significantly to around 2.5 to 3%. Let's see if Grok gets anything. Grok just says flat out false. The peak over year CPI inflation under Biden was 9.1, again, June 2022, so that's consistent, which was the highest since 1981, which is over 40 years ago. However, 11 months ago, from December 2025, refers to around January 2025, when inflation was already cooling to about 3%. So again, we're finding that consistently. Current core inflation is low, below levels in Biden's later years. This appears to reference a 2022 peak, not recent data. Okay, so just not true. However, okay, here we go. Claude disagrees. Claude says that it is mostly true. BLS data confirms that inflation peaked at, okay, again, it's referring to the 9.1% in June 2022. The 11 months ago framing is off since Trump took office in January, making June 2020. Yeah, okay, so basically not true. Basically what he says is not true. And he could have just said that under Biden, we had, like, if he had said under Biden, we had the highest inflation rate in over 48 years. And now it is nowhere near that. He could have said that and he would have been right. It would have been true. Why it would still be kind of misleading, right? It would still be kind of misleading because it wouldn't let you know that, like, under Biden, inflation cooled from 9% to 2.5%, almost 2.5 to 3%. Just a second. Aren't we comparing January 2025 inflation to January 1985 inflation? Well, we're saying, what we're saying is that what he said, the claim was 11 months ago. Let's listen to him say it.
Sing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years.
He said, when I took office, which is January 2025, inflation was the worst in 48 years. But inflation under Biden in 2022 was 9%, over 9%. So it was higher. It was way higher. However, when Trump took office, it was around 2.5 to 3%, which is nowhere near that, right? So again, he could mislead more effectively, but he just, there's no will to actually, like, speak about the facts, right? Good to see you, a couple of Burks.
And some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans.
That part, all true, right? Like, inflation was really bad. And things are it's still very difficult to afford. Wait, what was that word he used? Did he use?
For making life unaffordable.
Unaffordable. Interesting. Did he use that word? We'll come back to that.
For millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability.
So when we first began hearing the word affordability, I imagine that's not one of the claims they broke down, right? Yeah, they don't talk about whether or not we first heard, but, like, come on, guys. How out of touch do you have to be to think that no one was talking about affordability and whether things were affordable before inflation? Before the 9.0 inflation, before Joe Biden. But the last 20 years, you're saying no one was talking about affordability? Like, he's out of touch, does not know. It had come down at the end of Biden's term. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Joe Biden, to his credit, say what you will about the man, one of the things he was always running on is, like, he's talking about, like, kitchen table issues, whether things they'd be able to afford specific things. But then he goes on to say that things were unaffordable. Like, he uses the same phrasing. He just doesn't even realize. He doesn't connect the two. Skilled Tadpole says he must have learned about the word affordability around the same time he learned about groceries. Groceries. A very old-fashioned word. Very old-fashioned word, groceries. No one says groceries these days. They just say, get me a McDouble. Callie Dime says, do you think that he doesn't know the truth or that he does know the truth and he's gaslighting everyone on purpose? I think it's both. I think he doesn't. There's like a lack of concern for what the reality is. I think. Like I think he knew that Biden won in 2020, or at least he knew that everyone around him informed him that he lost. Hang on. Nakota, you say groceries? That's very old-timey of you. Very chic.
Our border was open, and because of this,
Am I using the word chic right? Chic. Stylish, elegant, fashionable. No, that's not what I meant. What's the word I was thinking of? Very chic, old-timey synonym. Vintage. Could have said vintage or shabby chic. Retro. I could have said vintage or retro. Anyway, this is not the point. Tadpole says, in part he buys his own BS, but he also knowingly spreads BS all the time to control the narrative. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What the hell do you call it? Foodsies? He calls it Mickey D's. Get me Mickey D's and a Diet Coke. That's what he calls it, right? What do you say when you go to the store for food? I don't know. I know back in the day, back in the old days, in the colonial American days, they said groceries. They talked about going to the groceries, going to acquire groceries, going to fetch groceries.
of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came.
25 million. Okay, guys, didn't. I hate it. It's like, so like, why are we even bothering, right? But like, hey, Kinetic Kel, happy birthday, guys! It's Kel's birthday. Happy birthday, Kel! Right? Is today still your birthday? Everyone wish Kel a happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day, Kel. Good to see you. Implying he's ever gone to the store himself for food? Yeah, obviously not. Love that all your chatters are members. Except for you, Kel. Someone's got to fix that. I love that too, though. We need to drop some memberships. Yeah, I hope it was a good one. What was I just about to respond to? Oh no. Wait. Oh, the 25 million. Like, okay, obviously he doesn't mean a literal army. Okay, he means 25 million, presumably illegal immigrants. Rehab tomorrow. I'm broke. Sorry. Oh no. Well, I hope if you're being serious, I hope that goes well for you in Minecraft. Okay, yeah, don't do that in real life. But if you need to go to rehab, go to rehab. I don't know if that's a serious comment. I hope you had a good birthday. But let's see. So was that one of the claims? Under the Biden administration, wait, we haven't even got to that. Okay, immigration. An army of 25 million people invaded the country. That's one of them. You're being so dead ass. Well, again, yeah. Good luck with that. I have family who had extremely good results from recent or from rehab a couple of years ago that I was actually just talking to them about. So I hope that you are similarly telling those stories to your friends and family a couple of years from now about how it went well for you. Being flown out of Cali to go rehab. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I agree with Skilled Tadpole. Yeah, exactly. What Fuzzy B said. Yeah, we wish you the best, Cal. Seriously. So let's find out whether an army of 25 million people invaded the country, guys. Like, what's our gut say? Do we think an army of 25 million people? It is a good gift. The gift of recovery. That's based. I love that. Yeah, so again, we already know about this one. Your chat is so nice. Yeah, we got good people here. we fostered a good community, you know. I am proud. I am also really proud of this community. Like the people who come here. They're taking my phone for a week. Well, we're gonna miss you. Phantom X says an army of 25 million people invaded the U.S. according to Trump. And Sigs, yeah, that's a rough one. I don't think any armies. Okay, well, like we don't have to take it so literally, right? Like we can understand that the when he says army, he like. I think. Look, I don't want to be good faith, but like if we want to understand the what's actually being said. Umbreon, just eat your stick. Lauren says I'm not always nice. Well, yeah, no one's. I'm not always nice. Many of us are not always nice. And I think that's okay. All right, so false as a factual head count. See again, so they also did what I was doing, right? They're trying to clarify. Good to see you, Growling, and yeah, good luck, Foo. I'll put all the rehab folks on a Radical Coder. I love that. Yeah, let them know. Let them know we're here. People in recovery love learning. It's about learning and unlearning, right? Like that's a big part of it. And we are fond of both of those things here. So cap at Coder. Wait, which one? Which claim? Short Stack says Ryan is too nice. From time to time. So it looks like 14 million unauthorized. Well, hang on. 14 million unauthorized immigrants in 2023. They say that's nowhere near 20. Okay, but that's 2023. So he might be right about the raw count. Like, were there 25 million illegal immigrants who entered the country? Wait, let's see. Gemini. Umbrella. No, sir. We're not doing that. Hyperbole, the official estimates put the total unauthorized population at 11 to 14 million, while border encounters exceeded 10 million under Biden. Many were repeat crossers or were expelled. Okay, so this is saying something a little bit different. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I see. So Pew estimated 14 million unauthorized immigrants living in the United States in 2023. So that's different than entering the United States over those years, right? So let's see how Grok. Total immigrant population growth under Biden was 8 to 10 million, including legals. Total immigrant population growth under Biden was 8 to 10 million, including legal immigration. Unauthorized estimates lower. No evidence of 25 million invasion. Okay, so yeah, 14 million. Yeah, I see that now. Short Stack. Yeah, I second what Cody just said. Yes, Rav, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Let's also slide down to Claude's. Claude also says false to the army of 25 million people. U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported 10 million migrant encounters, one person one or more times from February 2021 through July 2024. However, millions were turned away, returned, or deported. They always conflate these border encounter numbers. They always do this. Watch for this. This happens all the time. Ralph says AI again. Yeah, I use AI. I use AI all the time. However, an interesting thing about what I'm doing right now is I'm using AI in 4 different contexts. So I'm using 4 different models to investigate facts, right? So each one is presenting the facts in a slightly different way. But the consistency is what I'm looking for. And I think that's useful and interesting. Lindsay says he just pulls numbers out of his ass. Yeah. Well, I think that they have... There's some consistency to the numbers that like they pull them out of their ass and then they become true, right? To them, I can't trust it. Yeah, you don't have to trust it. In fact, take everything I'm saying here with a grain of salt as well. But like, look, I trust this more than I trust Donald Trump. So that's a average out of 4. I don't trust it 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest like taking this all for granted, right? Come on, people, let's go ahead and hit the like button to support the show. So true, Panelverse. So true. We love when people hit the like button. If you cannot support with your funds, which I would love for you to do, by the way, if you can support with your funds, please do. Please donate to the stream. Please support the stream, right? But if you cannot support with your funds, support with your thumbs. Click that like button. Panelverse says, W. Ryan, may you have a great stream, my friend. Thank you, Panelverse. Nicody says, Ryan is an AI guy. When they pass out the brain chips, he will be right there. Just kidding, right? Yeah, no, I'm good on the brain chips. Lindsay says, I can't even scroll Facebook anymore. It's all propaganda. Yeah, Facebook's pretty rough these days. The nonprofit Migration Policy Institute estimates there were 6 million entries between January 2021 and April 2024. So this is 6 million entries is what they assume, according to Migration Policy Institute. Presumably that's about undocumented, because earlier we saw that it was like 10 to 14 million of or was it 10 million total? Maybe that is. Maybe this is actually including. Well, let's see. The fulcrum. Have 25 million undocumented immigrants entered the U.S. and stayed during the Biden-Harris? I mean, obviously not. Okay, so this is 6 million entries. This is estimates 6 million. So this is referring to undocumented immigrants, right? The 25 million figure is wildly inflated. There you go, wildly inflated, which is, I agree with that analysis. Lauren says, want to see Ryan do magic? Ask him about his wiener. Ask me about my wiener. I love that movie. It was one of my favorite movies for years, except that I haven't watched it in a while. Total border encounters were around 10 million, including repeat crossers, with far fewer actually remaining in the U.S. Thank you, Callie Dime. I thought it was a good idea. All right, we are 41 seconds through. So far, both key facts have been pretty wrong.
Came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums.
I mean, I don't think that claim is exactly. That one's not considered falsifiable. But I mean, are they coming from mental asylums? Do you guys think? That when he says that he just either doesn't know what asylum seeking is, or he's like rhetorically used? I guess it's kind of the same question we were asking earlier about, like, you know, what does he know is false, and I think there's just a complete disregard for like reality. But like, I guess he knowingly or not, depends on people also not knowing what like seeking asylum is. That it's a legal process, by the way, that you're allowed to even come here illegally and seek asylum within a year. He thinks people seeking asylum is from the crazy farm. Yeah, exactly. That's what it seems to be. But the way he phrases it is never, like, I don't know if there's interviews where he's asked about like asylum seekers and stuff. I wonder.
They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom...
11,000. That's such a specific number. Do we look at that? Here. Claim for 11,888 murders. Wait, he said murderers.
Killed 1,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person.
So, is he saying murderers? I guess he's not. I guess he's saying 11,888 murders, which could be true. Let's see. No credible public backing found in the sources I pulled. This is the kind of claim that should have a DOJ, DHS report behind it if it's real. Without that, treated as unsupported. Well, let's see if Gemini found anything. It didn't go through that one. Grok. 11,888 murders were committed by gang members allowed in by the previous administration. False/no evidence. Isolated high-profile cases exist, but no verified total of 11,000. It's such a specific number. You like assume that it is real, right? Or that it's like comes from something. Like, what is he lying about, right? Like, that's the. Skilled Tadpole says, I think he probably knows that enough of his base doesn't know what asylum is and is eager to associate brown people with insane asylums that benefit for his popularity with the base. Yeah. It's difficult to know what he means sometimes. Yeah. Lindsay says, did you know they were taking all of the jobs and buying all the housing as well? Damn those immigrants. Yeah, that's what I hear. I think he's talking about the act, but who knows, because he isn't all that clear in his speech. Yeah. But again, like, there's just no, I mean, at least according to this, right? The actual ICE data shows approximately 13,099 non-citizens convicted of homicide on the non-detained docket, But Homeland Security later clarified in its statement that many are in prisons. Okay, wait. So this is wait, we got to fact check about it. Falsely accused Kamala Harris of letting more than 13,000 illegal immigrant murderers. So he's lowered the number now. So this 11,000 is like more specific. They took our gerbs. They took our gerbs. They took our gerbs. The vast majority of them entered the country prior to the Biden administration and had their custody status determined long before this administration. The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement. Lettner's response included a chart that showed there are 13,000 non-citizens convicted of murder who were not being detained by ICE. Homeland Security later clarified in its statements that many are in prison, although it did not tell us how many are incarcerated. Well, when did is this murder, like total murders ever? Like, what's the... The data goes back decades. Oh, okay. This is exactly what I was concerning. Aha. The data goes back decades. It includes individuals who entered the country over the past 40 years or more, the vast majority of whose custody determination was made long before this administration, referring to Biden. The figure spans 40 years of administrations, not just Biden's. Okay, so the 13,000 number, which he has now lowered for some reason. I guess he's alleging that 11,888 of them happened under Biden. $13,000 criminally convicted murderers. Kamala should... This is a quote from Trump. He said, Kamala should immediately cancel her news conference because it was just revealed that 13,000 convicted murderers... And so now it's 13,000 convicted murderers. But even in the speech he's giving now, he's saying that like 11,800 and many of them were committed by the same person, basically. 15,811 migrants convicted of rape and sexual assault. I assume this is also coming from the over 40 years. 40 years. If you look at the data released by the past three administrations, you see clearly there are numbers being spun and distorted by Congressman Gonzalez in what seems to be an attempt to put 40 years of failed immigration policy and congressional inaction and on the backs of federal law enforcement. So that is, yeah, it sounds like over 40.
Latest now in the race for the White House.
Whoa, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Okay. Next.
This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again.
That's right.
We had men playing in women's sports.
Wait, sorry.
Transgender for everybody.
We had transgender for everybody. Okay. When he says men playing in women's sports, he's saying there were transgender women playing in women's sports, and that is still true in some places, right? That it's still the case that there are trans women playing in women's sports in some areas, right? So he's right about that. Phrasing maybe not so much, but did we even talk about that here? I don't know if that really matters. He's right about that. True. He got one true statement so far. At least true enough,
Crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden.
What did he say there? I listened to this earlier. I've listened to this twice or three times at this point. What did he just say there?
Gender for everybody.
Transgender for everybody.
Crime at record levels.
Crime at record levels. And then he says something about a word that you...
With law enforcement and words such as that just absolutely forbidden.
With law enforcement and words such as that just absolutely forbidden.
We had the worst trade...
What does that mean?
Deals ever.
The trees are nice. I don't know what that sentence meant, like, at all. You jumped up there, dumbass. You didn't have to do that. Violent crime went down in December 2024 during Biden's administration. Yeah, it had been down. It had been going down for a while, right? Words such as that, just absolutely forbidden. I have no idea. Is he referring to the word law enforcement? Words like law enforcement forbidden is what he meant. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I think that was what I was getting to, but it's just a really weird way to phrase it. They were his trade deals. He should have done better according to him. Yeah, they were his trade deals. That's true. A lot of the Mexico Canada one that he said was like the worst deal ever that he did. How many more times is he going to be able to say he has an important announcement then says nothing? At least one more today. Wait, do I get a free transgender if I go to the U.S.? That's what I'm told. Transgender for everybody. Well, not under Trump. We don't do that anymore, okay? Under Biden, if Kamala Harris had won, then it would have been transgender for everybody. Everybody transgender. Everybody would be trans. You don't even get a choice in the matter. Okay, you don't get to choose your gender. You will be assigned a gender against your will. This was Biden's America, right? Just to be clear, under Biden's America, under Kamala's America, you would have been assigned a gender, and if you didn't like it, too bad. That's the gender you're stuck with. But Trump is going to make sure that you get to choose. Wait. Something feels a little wrong here about the logic, but transgender for everybody.
That just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world. But they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been.
I don't think that's a unfortunately, that's not a falsifiable claim. More positive change to Washington. I mean, we could say by what metric, right? Obviously, by any reasonable metric, I don't think that follows. Yeah, like Lindsay said, people are definitely laughing. Every time Trump's in office, both times, people have been laughing all over the world. Sometimes also terrified. Because an unpredictable United States is a very scary thing. But Biden didn't even sign trade deals, did he? So he's ragging on his own trade deals, right? As far as I know, I mean, I imagine, I don't know, did the CHIPS Act have any underlying trade? I mean, does that count? Would trade deals be? The trade deals have to be passed by Congress? I don't know. I'm just a tech guy. I'm just a tech guy. I don't know. He apparently doesn't see what's going on behind his back. Yeah, people are laughing at him for sure. Nope, that was a new deal. Let's just see. Did Biden sign any trade agreements as president? No. They pursued trade initiatives. Okay, so yeah, terrible trade deals that Trump signed, that Trump got us into. Mr. Art of the Deal. Okay.
Been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states.
Okay, true statements. He did win the popular vote. He did win all 7 swing states. 2 true things. Do trade deals have to be passed by Congress? The tariff, for example, should have to go by Congress. It did not. Well, I think that's what the Supreme Court is currently. Have they decided on that yet? My understanding is the Supreme Court maybe it got kicked down the road. Has the Supreme Court decided on Trump's tariffs yet? I think it might be kicked down the road till next year. No, there's not. They've heard arguments, but has not issued an opinion. Okay, ruling's expected in January. I thought it was later down the road, but so we could find out next month whether or not Trump's tariffs are constitutional. But I think the presumption by legal scholars, well, let's ask. Let's see, is the presumption by legal scholars that the tariff decision will not be supported, but they're still concerned that the Supreme Court will find some novel way to suggest that it is. Get better emotes, Ryan. Hey, Dark Device asked for that Jigglypuff, and I'm glad. I was one of our first emotes, and I'm glad I gave it to him, okay? I like that emote. Thank you, Skilled Tadpole. Yeah, I like my emotes. But Growling, hey, what emote would you like to see? I might consider it. If you guys, yeah, we got the care emote. Look, you guys we don't use the emotes enough here. Honestly, we got to start leaning into these emotes more, because we really do have some of the best emotes. We have some lame ones too that you only know, like, you're only funny if you like remember the specific stream where they came into existence on. But like, some of them are solid. Most legal scholars expect the court to reject Trump's tariff theory, while worrying the majority could still craft a narrow, novel rationale preserving subversion. So my gut aligns at least with ChatGPT in this case.
And everything else, with a
everything else
mandate to take on a sick and.
Does it even matter if the Supreme Court rules against the tariffs? I don't think Trump lets a little thing like Supreme Court ruling stop him from doing what he wants. Well, it's interesting. It is interesting because, you know, with the most like blatant example of a Supreme Court ruling that Trump didn't accept was the SCOTUS ruling regarding Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And ultimately, you know, it took 3 months of pressure, right? Ultimately, Kilmar was brought back. So I would imagine there's going to be a lot of pushback if the courts do rule against him. He will obviously lie about it. He will say they didn't. He'll say they even if it's 9-0, like he'll say they ruled in his favor. It probably won't be 9-0. But I think eventually it might matter. I guess that it'll be interesting to see. Why are you biting me, Umbra? I guess I'm old-fashioned. At times I say exactly the name of the place if it's known what store I'm going to. Oh, instead of groceries. Your judicial setup is truly cooked. I never realized this. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm personally of the opinion that the next Democrat president should pack the courts. At least with, like, when I say pack the courts, I mean like 1 or 2. Like expand it by 2. I mean, it's been expanded before. It wasn't always 9. It's also been shrunk before. I mean, it's controversial, and there's arguments against it. There's arguments. I think that this court is this court's very concerning, and their loyalties are very questionable. And I don't think we should. I don't think we should let them just hold the. Lindsay says need 12. Yeah, I think that might be the move. Way more than that. Yeah, maybe at least 3 by 2. Yeah, probably at least 3. The remedy for him breaking the law per SCOTUS is impeachment, which Congress doesn't have the spine to do. Well, yeah, I guess that's also, you know, we'll see after 2026, after the midterms. Yeah, we do have 6-3. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we had. Hey, do not bite me like that. That's too hard. You're biting too hard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say start with 6-7. Yeah, true glitching. I think starting with at least 3. People saying add 12. I mean, I don't know about that. I could be convinced. Like look, I definitely think we should pack the courts. That's where I stand currently on that. Like, I want that to happen. I think I don't know by how much. I could be swayed on different arguments for that, but yeah. The one thing I'll give Trump credit for, he brought attention to how fragile our democracy really is. Yeah, absolutely. And in a sense, you know, also how strong it is. You know, I think it's important to note that, like, the cracks he's finding are there, and they are the consequences of him fucking around with those cracks are going to be felt for generations, right? So, like, I don't want to downplay that when I say this, but I don't know, like, as someone who didn't, like, really learn a lot about history like formally in school, like I feel like I have an increasing appreciation for like the Constitution and the law, like the laws of our nation. Like yeah, I don't know, like the way the courts, I mean, obviously he calls them all activist judges and he tries to ignore them when like federal courts rule against him. But like, I think these fights as they move up, again, like I don't think he's like except for the Kilmar case, I don't know if he's explicitly defied the Supreme Court outside of that. It's interesting. And there's so much more like at the state level and everything, where things are like states are fighting back and like fairly effectively on various grounds. And yeah, I think it's really important to not like roll over and just like don't let them win without a fight, right? And I think that there are a lot of means to make the fight or to have that fight. Growling says, I like the Jigglypuff emotes. I was talking about the other ones. Well, yeah. I mean, tell me which ones you like and which ones you don't like, or which ones you would prefer. Growling, you can say whatever you want here. Okay, almost. Coach says, as old and fucked as our government seems, a tyrant can be elected twice and somehow has been able to tell him no. And are you saying somehow we have been able to tell him no at times? Like, I mean, people in his first term, he got told no a lot more, right? Because the people around him were more like standard conservatives, standard Republicans. But he, of course, was constantly firing them because they wouldn't tell him what he wants. You don't like the Rubik's Cube, too bad. You don't like the Shrek Care, too bad. I could get rid of Lil Coder, maybe. I like the Radical. I might use that instead for the memberships. I like the spam, but I'll think about it. We got here by taking the high road every time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that we have to take the high road necessarily. Like I do think like the game of politics that we're playing right now is very different, and we have to be realistic about it. 8647 emote, you'll go on a list. Hey, 8647, I stand by it. Get rid of that guy. Get him out of there. Impeach him. Libs are responsible for this as much as Republicans. Yeah, in a sense, yeah. And Cody says, you didn't learn history in school? Seriously? I took poli-sci in college, but sadly no degree. Look, I took history classes. I learned like basic civics in like elementary school and stuff, but like I was not like a student of history. Like I was like, I would go to school for math. I liked math, especially in my like older years in high school, like the latter years of high school. I just enjoyed my math classes, and the rest of it, like maybe my computer classes, I really enjoyed. But mostly because I was like fucking around playing games. Like I couldn't do well in my history classes. I didn't learn a lot. I got like a C in geography in junior high. And now I know where almost like all the countries are, right? Like I can play the map game and identify most of it. But I just didn't learn a lot of this stuff growing up because I didn't find it. I guess I couldn't map it on to. I wasn't like following the news and stuff, so I couldn't like map it onto current events in an interesting way. That is something to Trump's credit, again, like that he presents the opportunity to do. He was impeached twice. He has 34 felonies and been found liable for grape. Apparently, character no longer counts. Yeah, that's true. All true facts. 8-9, true. No 6-7s in chat. 6-7, too bad. Oh no, wait. My headphone just disconnected. So you guys have to listen to me talk for another moment before Trump comes back. Okay.
And corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people.
Kind of like you guys are doing right now.
The last 4 years, the United States was.
I just want people to recognize this. I know maybe some people here, maybe a lot of you guys, I mean, my audience is very smart, very, very well read, very educated, very brilliant people here. So you guys probably know this, but it's a common talking point that the United States used to be funded by tariffs, right? Primarily. This is true. This is a true thing. In the up until the early 1900s, most taxes were paid through like tariffs. And the people who mostly took on the burden of these taxes were the middle and lower class. It was poor people, middle class people who primarily paid the burden of these taxes. So Hang on, let me fix my chat. Okay, chat should be fixed now. The overlay. So I just remember that, right? Like, the tariffs are going to hurt, not people who are rich as rich as Trump, or people like, there's a reason they're lowering taxes, like income taxes and stuff, and and various other taxes. They're lowering those taxes for the things that would disproportionately affect like rich people who make the most money, people bring in the most money. But they're starting to fund through things like tariffs, which are taxes, and they will lie. I don't think Trump has ever acknowledged the tariff is a tax, right? Like he treats it as if like the other countries pay them still to this day. Yeah, tariffs are a cost to everyone who buys things that are imported. Exactly. Those are the consumers, and that's who pays the tariffs. Exactly, Callie. Yeah. See, you guys know. Fine, get out of here then. Go. Just get out of here. Where's Robin Hood when you need him? For real, for real. But okay, just wanted to make that clear.
It was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on.
Did they release more violent felons than we'd ever seen? I mean, all of that stuff is, slurring. He is slurring. He is getting old. He's getting old. Personally, Josh says, I love paying tariffs. 18 trillion in 9 months. Wow. He has slashed our national debt in half. Wait, he hasn't lowered it at all? How does that work? Yeah, curious. Bernie, by the way, is trying to put the brakes on construction of data centers, probably for the best. Even as someone who I am pro AI, I think that we should probably not just let these let the people who want to build data centers like run rampant and do whatever they want. Like, we should probably try to be pragmatic about it.
Prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible.
They caused mayhem, guys. They caused mayhem.
Situation. All
AI birther. Yeah, I'm an AI birther. AI data centers are destroying the PC market. Yeah, probably true. Yeah, there needs to be rules. Well, Trump just signed an executive order to make it so there cannot be rules. Or at least states cannot make their own rules, rather. Chabot, I don't know why you're posting that letter and nothing else. I hope that you're not doing some cringe shit here. I don't think of that of you, Chabot. Am I crazy? Who posts an N? I see an N in chat, and I'm like, who's doing the N towers? But it doesn't look like that was what was happening. I think Chabot just made a typo. We'll let him slide this time. RAM price is insane. Crucial dropping out. NVIDIA dropping 30% GPU production. Not sourcing VRAM models for manufacturers anymore. Nikoti says, where's all the money taken in? To what use has all these funds and slashing programs funds been put? Whose pocket is it all up in there? Whose pocket is it in up there? That's frightening, especially for our kids. Ma'am? NVIDIA towers? Yeah. Well, did you guys hear? DeepSeek apparently was trained on, I believe they were NVIDIA chips that were illegally smuggled into China. I misspelled environment and said N. Okay. I was like, I thought like when I first saw the N, I thought you were someone else, and I was like, wait a minute, Chabot. That doesn't seem like Chabot. You're good.
All over the globe, but now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined.
Wow.
Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country. A feat which...
All right, let's see. That sounds like a falsifiable claim, right? This past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed in the country. Let's find out if that's true. Let's see. For the past 7 months, almost certainly falsely stated, but needs a speaker's definition. If they mean 0 releases at the border, that's still a measurable claim. But I did not pull primary CBP, or ICE release metric that validates 0. Well, why not just give me the correct number as well? I guess I probably could have asked for that better. 0 legal status, mostly true. Okay. Since the zero tolerance 2.0 executive orders in May 2025, CBP reports have shown net 0 releases into the interior. Those small numbers of surreptitious entries, getaways also always exist. It's not a lie if you believe it when you say it. Hey, Uncle Fatty. Questions as a text, and I can assure you illegals are still getting across. Let's see. Mostly true. Border encounters near historic lows. Administration claims 0 releases or paroles for months. So, I mean, we can take a mostly true per CBP definition. This is the 7th straight month of 0 releases at the border, making it truly the most secure border in history. This is according, they're citing U.S. Customs and Border Protection. CBP officially reports 0 releases, people released with notices to appear. I feel like that's not the number we're looking for. People released with notices to appear? I feel like that's not what I'm concerned about for 7 consecutive months. However, some analysts note parolees and other categories are counted differently. Okay. So, probably not exactly true, is what I'm gathering. But, like, truer than some of the other things he said. Some trucker got popped with about 20 migrants in his sleeper cab. Crazy. Radical Coder is banned from fact-checking on the fact-checking website. I'm banned from fact-checking on the fact-checking? What does that mean? And your fact-check. Oh, yeah. I would not be the guy. I would not be the guy. Also, I'm not trying to say that my review of these 4 LLMs responses to these claims is like solid enough to walk off of. You know, I'm just trying to get a better comprehension of the facts. Like, how many illegal immigrants are estimated, not by CBP, to have entered the United States in 2025. No credible non-CBP. There's got to be estimates somewhere. Let's see. Southwest borders encounters down from roughly 93% year over year. Nationwide apprehensions in October to November 2025 under 10,000 per month. Encounters aren't entries. Yeah, I know that. Thank you. Some encountered are turned back. Well, apparently all encountered are turned back right now. It's 100% unnecessary to even look it up. I know what you're saying. Oh, I'm not looking it up to figure out. I don't think there's been 0. I'm just trying to find out if there is any like reliable or I guess this is one of the frustrating things about this administration is it all data is broken right now. Like all the institutions that we use to like collect this data are being gutted and used maliciously. No numbers are going to be correct. That's what, yeah. If you're looking for a practical proxy, this is exactly what I'm looking for. The best public indicators point to significantly reduced attempted crossings and apprehensions, but they cannot be cleanly converted into a count of illegal. Okay, but it's probably not 0. I almost wrote probably not fucking 0, right? Probably not 0, right? Correct. It's not 0, but no vetted public estimates. Okay, whatever. So probably not 0, all right? Listen.
Which everyone said was absolutely impossible.
Still
Do you
is.
remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always blamed.
That's not what that legislation was about. This is sort of one of the side projects. Also, we can get city-state census data. True. The bill that Trump killed was about expanding the amount of judges, right, to review immigration cases because there was a bottleneck. That was like one of the main things it did. Or not just, it was like hiring judges and also changing the process so that there could be more reviews, stuff like that, right? You can't get reliable info from anything that is .gov right now. Yeah, for sure.
blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from...
Is that what they mean by packing the court? I think what we mean by packing the court... Oh, wait, are you... I don't know if that's if you're joking about something he said. Copwatcher said, you're pro-AI radical coder. The AI slop on social media seems really dark. It's become indecipherable from real video, real events. Seems like it could be kind of problematic during elections. I think it will be. But I mean, I use, like, I like as a developer and as a creator, like, I find AI, and also just as a neurospicy dude who exists, I find AI remarkable and life-changing in a lot of ways, and skyrocketing my own personal productivity. I think there's a lot of really good things about AI that get kind of drowned out by all the bad stuff. But yeah, I would say I am like cautiously pro AI. Yeah. Glitchin says, Ryan, I watched a guy on Instagram get kicked out of the country by ICE on Tuesday, paid a coyote on Wednesday, and was drinking beers in Vegas on Thursday. Illegals be getting across. Well, there you go. Glitchin saw it. Polygraph says, the Microsoft guy has a website where he's been mining the data also. Callaway Dime says, if Trump added more Supreme Court justices. Oh, yeah. He would also be back in the court, yeah. AI is as good as it is bad, basically. Yeah, that's probably fair, yeah. The theft is unacceptable and will need to be paid back. Yeah. In one way or another. I think the best way to do that would be like maybe, you know, get like a revised version of Andrew Yang's like UBI or something, you know? And heavily paid for by taxes from the companies that are benefiting the most, making the most profit off of this, while like getting rid of jobs and reducing their workforces.
Worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so...
He says we decimated them, but also I thought the cartels were like out to get ICE or whatever. So we decimated them, but they're also putting out bounties on ICE, and they're very powerful still.
Proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%.
Well, that sounds like a falsifiable claim. Let's see. Did we get that one? Drugs. Here, drugs brought in by sea are down 94%. That's a falsifiable claim. Unclear what drug, what metric, what jurisdiction. Could mean seizures, estimated flows, interdictions, needs a specific DHS. Okay, that doesn't help. Unverified figure comes from December 2025 White House statement regarding Operation Neptune. Okay, so White House statement. Well, the Coast Guard reports record seizures. A 94% reduction in total flow is difficult to measure scientifically. True, according to the administration. Maritime interdictions are reduced seaborne smuggling significantly. Unverified. So there we go. Did you know they are bringing Chi-Chis back? I don't know what that is.
We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs.
They say sinister woke radicals? That's me. I'm a sinister woke radical.
Now in the hands of...
Wait, what is it?
And control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states.
Maybe it was coming up.
Where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, And with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even
might be true.
close. I've restored American strength, settled.
But we probably already had that. Do we even talk about that in these claims? Sinister woke radicals is crazy. Yeah, like it sounded like he didn't actually say that, but it was in the captions. That's interesting.
8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing.
Ended the war in Gaza. Okay, so here we go. These sound like some verifiable claims. Nah, the woke radicals are only multiplying by the day, my guy. Yeah, that's for real. If kids are addicted to gaming, then making free games that are educational targeting those states might help. There is something. Yeah, I like where your head's at, Polygraph. Thanks to you, Mr. President. More woke radicals. Wait, where was the what was the claim I was just looking to verify?
In 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and.
Oh, the Gaza one. The Gaza one. That's what I was going to look for. Destroyed the Iran nuclear threat and ended the war in Gaza. Okay, foreign policy. So, yeah, this one needs like zoomed out a bit. Ended the war in Gaza. False. Destroyed the Iran nuclear threat. False. Not support as a factual statement. Is an object you can destroy. Okay, well, there was a ceasefire framework, but the conflict is not ended. Yeah, obviously, as we know. Military thing is probably true. We also spend the most budget. Yeah, but like that was already true, right? Like we already had that, and Hegseth is still asking for more money after he blew his budget. Yeah, exactly. This old lunatic really does believe all the shit that Stephen Miller tells him. Yeah, or he doesn't mind repeating it. Typing of the Dead was a fun game back in the day. Typing of the Dead. That sounds vaguely familiar. Like I feel like I remember like a typing game, like fighting off zombies with a typing game. I loved those. The typing games that were like, oh man, this is so fun. Games that, like teach you how to type, but also like you're battling off enemies and stuff. I'm surprised his speech isn't just, I have done many, many bigly things. It kind of is what he's doing, right? He's just saying some specific things. I mean, obviously he didn't end the war in Gaza. There was a ceasefire. Active major hostilities have ceased. Okay. I mean, I haven't like followed it close enough, as close as I should. Like when we say fighting halted, like maybe at least as much as it was, but yeah, fragile with violations. Yeah, exactly. Partially true for Iran nuclear threat from Grok. Trump's decently into his dementia phase. It does seem like it. I can't help that Ryan was 10 or 12 when Cheat Chips went out of business. Oh yeah, that would probably explain it. Yeah, again, partially true, partially true. So it's like there is a ceasefire in place, right? It's very fragile. Both Hamas and Israel are accusing each other of breaches on a near daily basis. He did bomb Iran. Whether the threat is destroyed is debatable. Not everyone gets affected the same, but usually it will accelerate to some degree, and at that point we won't see him much likely. Oh yeah, probably true. And when that happens, whenever we question it, people will just say, "Oh yeah, well they hid Biden. They hid Biden from you. They lied about Biden. They lied about Biden." And it's slightly true, but not that true. I mean, like Biden was like, it was pretty plain as day. Like when things got pretty bad with Biden, like we could all see it. And I don't feel like there was really that much. I mean, there were some people who downplayed it, even myself a little bit. I still kind of think, and say what you will about me and about Biden for this, but I think that it's possible that Biden still could have beat Trump if he stayed in. I don't think he should have. I'm glad he dropped out. Sort of, because I do think there was I don't know. I think it's not an impossibility for him to have won.
Ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages both living and dead.
By the way, I remember him lying about the hostages. Like Biden actually, under Biden, a lot, like most of the hostages had already been released. Like under Biden, like the vast majority. I think it's like over 90% of hostages had been released under Biden, and Trump got like the remaining few. That's true. Trump is going downhill, but if I had to be completely honest, I hope I'm as mentally aware as Trump at his age. I didn't avoid alcohol and drugs nearly as much as he did, though. Fair.
Here at home, we're bringing our
God, we're only 5 minutes in.
economy back
Torture.
from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them
Biden got all the women and children out. Yeah, that makes sense.
down very fast.
Is he? Are prices going down? Is this I imagine we're about to get into this, right? But under Biden, he's about to talk about all these specific values.
Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration,
Oof. Okay, let's look at these facts. Biden price increases and Trump price decreases. I like that I like that this infographic is cut off by the text econ for a White House flash poll. Like you can't see prescription in sporting event tickets. I think it's sporting event tickets. The facts. Thank you, Trump. Dive deep into this chart and fact check it with sources, please. I mean, let's look at it, right? So hotel rates are were up 37. I mean, just it's so. I've heard like car payments are up like massively. There's just no way any of this stuff is true. Maybe gas. Look at this chart of data and imagine how good it could be. Yeah. That's not propaganda at all. Ugh, it's like there's not even like a data from XYZ. There's just nothing. There's nothing. It's so frustrating. The only way to engage with a chart like this is to like go through each individual one and try to find what number they're referencing or find out what the actual number. Yeah, like it's just so annoying. It's pointless to speculate about what could have been. Perhaps it fills some internal void thinking about it, but it's pointless and a waste of energies. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's pointless for me to catch all the Pokemon, Cop Watcher, but I still want to do it. Okay, it still feels good. It fills my internal void of not having all the Pokemon. Say what you will about Biden, at least he had an empathy chip. True that, yeah. And I've people will argue, they'll talk about Biden, talk about the things he did in the 90s and like the crime bill, which by the way, the crime bill, which had a lot of really negative effects. The crime bill was also supported by a lot of leaders in the black community at the time. For better or for worse. I would say for worse, but, and that doesn't like get Biden off the hook for it. But like what I'm saying, like, is that like modern Biden when modern Biden talks about like past atrocities of the United States, he doesn't like downplay or like he acknowledges like that he participated in bad things. Like he refers those things as regrettable, like it's like one of the things I really like about Biden is that he acknowledges that like, he did bad things in the past and that he's not proud of like everything he's ever done. Unlike Trump, who's never made a mistake, right? As much as I'd love to hang out and watch the speech a second time, I need to get some Z's. Yeah, have a good night, Skilled Tadpole. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure everybody likes the stream. Have you guys liked the stream? Have you supported the stream? Have you donated to the stream? Have you gotten a membership? Have you gifted a membership? These are all things that you could do to show me how much you care, okay? Or you can just like the stream. If you cannot support with your funds, please support with your thumbs. Really appreciate it. Helps us out, helps us get in the algorithm, helps more people get their eyes on the channel, help us grow, help us go to the top of the charts, the top of the YouTube streets. We are currently halfway to 1 million subscribers. We're going to be hanging out with Mr. Beast next week, so look forward to that.
Car prices rose 22%, and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now, under our leadership, they are all.
It's still digging. I like the stream twice. Was that wrong? You have to like the stream an odd number of times, right? So you could like it 101 times. You could like it 131 times. You could like it 1,605 times. But you cannot like it just 2 times. That's the rules. We're only halfway. We're not even halfway, unfortunately.
All
Cop
coming
Watcher.
down
Hate to
and
say
coming
it.
down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving.
Groceries, that old-fashioned word. I like how groceries are not on this chart. Okay, now show the same graph, but for beef prices. Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is the food prices. He switched charts. I didn't notice. Biden food price increase and Trump food price decrease. Okay, so we got another one to here. But you can't even see what the foods are. It's so obnoxious. It's okay, we're just mocking Trump. Really, Mr. Beast? Never heard of him. Yeah, we're gonna do an interview, yeah. Is Mr. Beast a good guy or a bad guy is the question. He's a guy who could do more. He's a guy who could probably use his platform in better ways than he does. I don't think it's that. I don't know if it's that deep, but isn't he rich and some of his stuff fake? That's 2 dings. That's true. Those are 2 dings. Like, how we can't even fact check this because we can't see the fucking food. Can't see the names of the food. Remove the banner. Oh my god, this is drives me crazy.
Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving.
Kyle Butcher says, I can't wait for you to hit 1 million subs so I can do this full time and quit my day job, Radical Coder. If I'm ever anywhere near, right? If I like, look, absolutely, my mods, stick around if you can, okay? If we make it to the top, you guys are coming with me. Maybe not everyone is a mod, but definitely like Cop Watcher. I think most of my mods I would stick by. There's a couple people who have wrenches who I think I might retract those wrenches eventually, but for the most part. Callie says, my daughter used to watch Mr. Beast. He gets a lot of money to people, and I just saw the other day has a candy bar. Yes, he does have a candy bar. Yes, he does give a lot of money to people.
Turkey was down 33%
yeah, Fuzzy, I got
compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is.
Is it? I mean, look, is the price of eggs down? Wait, I'm sorry. What was the number? He said 80.
The price of eggs is down 82%.
82%. 82% since March 2025 to now December 2025. Who does a guy got to blow for a wrench around here? I think I trust you, Uncle Fatty. We'll see. Let me think about it. No, U.S. wholesale egg prices are down about 86%. Oh, so it's more. Okay. I like how it's like, no, you're wrong. It's down more. Promise that shit. Josh says, I buy 3 dozen eggs a week. They're not down 82%. Looks like they're down more, allegedly, according to this, but it could be wrong. It's getting some of the data from a .gov website. So you heard him, Nightbot. You're on Thin Ice Bucko. That's right. Yeah, Nightbot. I like Uncle Fatty too. Wholesale doesn't reflect in stores at all. I mean, I'll be honest. Like when I go pick up eggs, like I look at the prices in stores. Like it's been relatively cheap. Like I feel like I spent like $3 on like 18 eggs. Like the beginning of the year was crazy, but like I would say I thought Trump did some shit earlier in the year like that actually probably did bring egg prices down. I can't remember what it was. I could be hallucinating this, but hang on. Let me let Umbreon in.
Since March, and everything else is falling rapidly, and it's not done yet. but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000.
In all private sector. In all private sector, they're up now. In factory worker, they're up, I mean, according to this poll. So just another poll we gotta fact check. I guess I never typed in the other one. Wait, let's see. It's still cooking this one. Do this one next, and I'll wait because it's still cooking.
Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800.
Well, let's see. I think also a lot of these are probably listed in here, right? In our falsifiable claims. So economic and inflation claims. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Okay, we can explore these claims. Let's see. Car prices rose 22%. This is all true. Okay. According to ChatGPT, at least. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Also true. Claim Thanksgiving turkey prices are down 33%. Okay, so when we start talking about prices going down, suddenly very questionable. Sounds like BS based on big, beautiful bill data. A widely cited 2025 comparison found turkey 16% cheaper than the prior year, not 30%. Whoa. I mean, that's still cheaper. Like, again, it's why not just say, like, if it's cheaper, if it's actually cheaper, you don't have to lie. That's what's really frustrating. The price of eggs is down 82% since March. If you meant grocery store prices, 82% is likely too large. But like we're saying, wholesale is 82% does seem really large. Like, I mean, it's definitely down from what it was in like January, but like, or March even. Real wages plummeted by $3,000 under Biden. Very likely false is a literal standard statistical statement. The number looks like a rhetorical reconstruction, annualizing a small weekly change or comparing to a counterfactual change or trend. Claims since Trump took office, factory workers' wages rose $1,400, construction $1,800, miners $3,500. Unclear, not verifiable. Shocking. Let's see what Gemini found. Turkey prices down, mixed. Real wages plummeting by 3,000, questionable. 100% of jobs created since Trump took office are private sector. True, contextual. Yeah, because he got rid of all the fucking public sector jobs. Annual mortgage cost decreased by 3,000. Mostly true. Okay. Eggs peaked at $6.23 per dozen due to bird flu. By December, averages fell to $3 to $3.50. Yeah, probably not 80%, but still a decent amount. Since Trump took office, factory workers' wages increased by $1,400. Uncertain, likely first-term reference? No, it's not. Grok is stupid. Let's see. Egg prices are down 82%. False, according to Claude. Unverified for the wage increases. Wages are currently rising faster than inflation. That's true. But again, that inflation we got down to 3.0 inflation under Biden. So anyway.
For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300.
Clean, beautiful coal, guys.
And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages.
Is it much faster? Is it faster? What's the wage growth? True. Average hourly earnings up plus 0.8%. meaning wages outpaced inflation. Okay, so just slightly. So that's still a good thing. But again, that inflation rate, we were down to that inflation rate by January. So thanks to what Biden did with the Inflation Reduction Act.
Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great.
That doesn't follow, right? Like, why would that be true?
This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories.
Steve Miller used that line on Fox a few weeks ago.
And plants at levels we haven't seen. AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world, and that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were
so we haven't seen those yet.
Really accomplished through
We'll see what it looks like.
Big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is
where are the contracts? That's a good question.
Projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend.
Okay.
In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that.
I mean, I guess I'm fine with that.
Checks are already on the way. Nobody understood.
I mean, it's actually going to happen though. I thought we were getting Trump checks. I thought Trump checks were coming earlier. Polygraphs is not a fan of this. Yeah, I mean, like it's probably not. I mean, it's obviously just like a super symbolic thing. Even if it happens, Josh says they won't be doing this. I'm skeptical it'll actually happen. But like, I mean, whatever. I guess it's kind of weird, but okay. Back, I had to go watch that AI cat video that floated away because kids tied balloons to it. They didn't pay the air traffic controllers selected benefits. Yeah.
Understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations.
It'll be $3.5 billion. That's a lot of money. Shit like this has to go through Congress. It's supposed to. Yes, it's supposed to. He said we were supposed to get $2,000. I'm still waiting. I want my $2,000. Give me my check. I want Trump bucks. I could really use those Trump bucks. More to the point, paying military to try to buy support. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely part of it. We're in December. 2026 is right around the corner. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. It's actually less than a year to the midterms.
everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military.
That was another one that was, let's see. The military is seeing record enlistment numbers right now. Let's find out if there's anything to that one. Half true, half spin. There's evidence recruiting improved and some components hit or exceeded goals, but worse in history last year looks wrong. Reporting and summaries point to lows around 2022 rather than last year, and record depends on which metric, accessions versus applications versus goal attainment. Give me something better, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, skip that one. Military seeing record enlistment. True. Recruitment surged in late 2024 and 2020. Okay, wait. Late 2024. Recruitment surged in late 2024 and in 2025. So it was already surging. Okay. Well, there you go. Let's see. Record military enlistment unverified. Definitely not worst numbers in history last year, right? He's using taxes to put gold all over the White House walls. True. Travis says, all of a sudden we don't care about the deficit and we want to send checks. Yeah.
Military is hit.
Yeah. Again, this press. I wouldn't count on those checks coming. You know.
History. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%.
Okay, that sounds like a verifiable claim. Looks like it's one of them listed here. Trump negotiated directly with drug companies to slash prices by up to $600. Let's explore. We do know that, by the way, apparently 4 Republicans have dissented and are standing with Democrats, pushing for a vote to renew the Obamacare subsidies that would prevent people's premiums from skyrocketing as they are looking to. Evidently he doesn't get 1,076 and is maybe 1 month's living for a family. Oh yeah. Well, 1,776, but still, yeah, absolutely. It's only about a month's. If that, you know, let's see. False/incoherent math is what ChatGPT says. A 600% price cut is not a normal way to describe reductions. You can't cut a price more than 100% down to zero. Well, okay. That's actually an interesting point. I don't know exactly what he means by that. Okay, Gemini skipped that. Trump negotiated directly. Exaggerated MFN deals with companies. Pfizer, significant discounts, 50 to 80%, but not 600%. Okay, so there are discounts. Unverified, specific claim couldn't be verified. A 600% price reduction would mean prices dropped to 1/7 of original, extraordinary and unlikely. How about you get a car and you get a car? 1776 for an enlisted soldier is quite a lot, to be fair. Pretty much everyone below E5 will greatly appreciate. Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm sure they would all appreciate it. I'm just saying they shouldn't count on it. Okay, now he's about to tell us about Trump RX.
In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward, and I use the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called most favored nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first
Most
of these
favored nation.
unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov.
TrumpRx.gov, guys. Concepts of a plan finally coming to fruition. TrumpRx.com. He really hates Obamacare. He's got to counter it with TrumpRx.com.
These big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care.
We'll
I'm
see.
also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they
Yeah, it should, but it's not. Not under your shit.
can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far.
.gov also won't be there in the future. LMAO. Will Dems leave it? I mean, if it's good, maybe. Accessible with your new Trump phone? Yeah, just wait for that to come in the mail, and you get free access. I mean, obviously we can't know whether or not that's going to be reality. Unclear. I saw the claim being discussed. I did not have a clean, authoritative federal launch notice in the sources. True launch planned for early 2026. Direct discounts. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Unverified. Okay, so Claude found no information about the website. Curious how it competes with Mark Cuban's pharmacy. How could it be good? It's not free. True.
Better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance
Unaffordable
companies
Care Act.
rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases. And
That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. I mean, like, look, I don't expect very much, like, I don't expect a lot of truth to come from Trump, but it's just so, man, it makes me, like, I want to be critical of, like, congressional Democrats, but, like, man, you just gotta feel for those motherfuckers when Trump says shit like this, right? Like, they're demanding price increases. Like, the whole government shutdown was the Dems saying, can we please negotiate on extending this to prevent these premiums from skyrocketing? And Republicans saying, no, we cannot negotiate that. And then finally saying, yeah, maybe we'll negotiate it, and then just not. And then, I guess negotiating, but never, like, agreeing to anything. Polygraph says over the next 4 years, they're going to be trying very hard to reset the standard that you think you should accept for yourself. Yeah. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Callie says, that's why insurance companies can't stand the Affordable Care Act. True. They should have offered single payer, then the convo would have moved. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, I think we should be pushing for single payer. Uncle Fatty says, Obama stole the ACA from Mitt Romney. True. And Mitch sabotaged it from the get-go. Obama. Yeah. Yep. Instead, they literally offer the bare minimum, the very most recent thing, nothing better, etc., even though they know all the costs are up. Yeah. This is true.
Their
This
fault.
is true.
It is not the Republicans' fault.
It's just so frustrating. It's so not true. It's so far from true. It's like it is literally the opposite of what's happening. Like, there's a reason that at least four Republicans, and probably more moving forward, have currently dissented from their party and are standing with the Democrats demanding a vote on this. Right? It's literally why they're doing this, because it's not the Republicans who are trying to stop this from happening. It's the Democrats. It's just, yeah.
It's the Democrats' fault.
Okay.
It's the
You said it, Trump.
Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want.
Callie says he's delusional. I don't. It's one of those times where, like, I mean, we've talked about it a few times tonight, but like, does he know? Does he know that, like, that's not the case? Does he truly believe it? Does it matter? Does maybe doesn't care whether it's true or not? I don't know.
I want the money to.
Do you guys remember there was a South Park episode where Cartman was like, it revealed like just how delusional Cartman is about it, like his internal world.
Go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much
Major
lower
delusions?
price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is
I don't
the
think we
cost
are.
of energy.
Hey guys, you seen those premiums? You think we're getting cheaper healthcare? Right? Doesn't look like healthcare is getting cheaper. It looks like it's the opposite. It looks like healthcare is getting way more expensive, actually.
For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the
Here we go. We got another chart. Another chart cut off by this fucking text econ message. Wait, did it ever finish? Damn. Network connection lost. Oh no. Do these ones next and have both of these. Oh wait, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Damn it. You know, wants people to buy great private insurance where they no longer have to insure you if you're already sick? Insurance companies. That's what Josh says. Callie says, yeah, this is rough. Thank you for not letting me watch alone. Yeah, I'm happy we can all watch together and die a little inside collectively as a team. Awesome. It failed. That's just fantastic. Huh?
the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of
We got 5 more minutes, then, Cody. It's almost over.
dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels.
Let's see. It starts in 2021. Okay, Biden's inauguration. So it already started going up. I mean, yeah, like gas prices. Well, look, I like how it goes like up super high. Like a couple years into COVID and a couple of years, like Ukraine, which also I think had a lot of impacts. And just, there's a lot of things going on in the world, you know? And yeah, shit, gas prices went really high. And then they drop. And now then they're like kind of a little volatile, but they steady out. They literally go down to basically where they're at now. I mean, allegedly this drop, like, I don't know. It's just like, can we cleanse the palate with an Obama speech? I don't know if I want to watch like a whole nother speech.
Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next...
Is that real? Are there any states where there's gas at $1.90? I don't know.
12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost...
Josh says, I did pay $2.05 for gas the other day in Texas, and I didn't pump where it's cheapest around me, or I don't pump where it's the cheapest around me. Interesting. I mean, look, that's good. I want gas prices to go down, right? I don't know how much effect Trump had on that, but I'm glad gas prices are down. Biden new yearly mortgage cost increase, and Trump new yearly mortgage cost decrease.
Cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000.
Let's see if we can. Looks like my fact check broke on that one. ChatGPT couldn't handle it. Let's see if it can do this one. Fact check this with sources. Let's see if we can handle this one at least.
And it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you
Princess
see the number.
Princess Kate says too many blacks in this country. I don't think that's the problem, Princess Kate. I don't think that's it. Interesting critique. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that from my overlay. I don't think that's the problem. I think we got a lot of problems in America. I don't think just too many black people is one of them, personally. It's just not. I don't think that's the issue, but thank you, Princess Kate, for your input.
Numbers are going to be shocking, and I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve,
Hey, Dorito.
someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving
Are they concepts of a plan?
up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants.
True that, Christine.
At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education.
Oh, that was one of the verifiable claims, right? 60% of the housing growth came from illegal immigrants or whatever. That just seems like not defensible at all. That would be in the immigration section. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. Unclear, not sourced. Could be based on household formation estimates, but needs a real citation. Well, yeah, that's kind of the problem. Gemini skipped it. Let's see. Questionable. Immigrants drive housing demand, but exact 68% unsupported. Contribute significantly, but not majority. Yeah, also it just is like foreign migrants, so just immigrants, right? Literally, like they always play fast and loose with like whether illegal immigrants or whether they're referring to illegal immigrants or just migrants, just people immigrant. Christine says I ran all the way from outside to comment after hearing that. Well, thank you, Christine, standing up for our culture here on this channel, which does not appreciate cringe racism like that. We only like based epic racism. Lindsay says they were, however, paying $97 billion in taxes with nothing in return. True. Polygraph says it comes after Trump said earlier on Wednesday that the former podcast host did a great job in office and wants to go back to his show. Oh yeah, Dan Bongino left, right? Dan Bongino, more like Dan Bongano. Am I right? He's out of there. Get out of there. Dan Bongano. The Koch brothers spent $6 million on advertising in South America during the Sleepy Joe admin saying open borders. Jesus. That's crazy. Is that true, Uncle? That's wild. I didn't know that, Uncle Fatty. Polygraph said the show where he talked about getting the Epstein files released. Yeah, where are those files? We got a bunch of photos that Democrats released, that House Democrats released, right? Careful saying epic racism, though. You'll have Republicans thinking you mean the Muslim town in Texas. Well, I think he's about to talk about that. I think that's on this list as well. We're about to talk about, or I'm sorry, not Texas, but I see what you're saying. Oh, Epic City, right? I see what you're mentioning. I see what you're referring to now. But he's about to talk about the Somalian immigrants in Minnesota, which we did a whole panel about.
Paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the
Not even be mentioned. You've mentioned a lot of numbers tonight. Why wouldn't we mention them? If they're so high, we can't even tell us what the numbers are?
First time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home.
Yeah, people are leaving. People don't want to be here. That's a bad thing. It's bad. It's bad that people don't want to move to America. It's bad that people want to leave America, especially who are here legally. That's not good. That's not a sign of a good, healthy, stable, growing country. Like, that's concerning when people are leaving. People are fleeing you, dude. They don't want to be around you. They think you're scary and crazy. God.
Leaving more housing and more jobs.
Well, I guess, is it even true? The immigration thing, right? Reverse migration. Unclear, likely exaggerated. Migration patterns fluctuate. First time in 50 years is a giant claim. And whether it's even happening, right? Again, nothing from Gemini really let us down here this time. We are seeing reverse migration for first time in 50 years. True/projected. 2025 likely first negative net migration in decades due to deportations and low inflows. Yeah. Again, not a good thing. Not a good thing. Not exciting. We shouldn't be proud of that. People don't even want to be here. People don't even want to come to America.
Jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign
All right, we got all net creation was going to foreign what?
migrants.
So just immigrants he means, presumably, but also I just fixed the chat. I realized Christine's last message didn't go through. Total native born employment level. Let's see. I'll add this one.
Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens. 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat.
But like, see, even if that's true, which I mean, there's almost like no chance this is true, right? These. Like, if there's a graph during this Trump speech, you can probably assume that there's something very deeply wrong with it. But like, even assuming this is true, like, he's now talking about people breaking laws, people like he's starting referring to specifically illegal immigrants, right? But like, this isn't about illegal immigrants. This is native born. This could include like immigrants who would be included in this. Immigrants who would be impacting this could be U.S. citizens, like could be productive U.S. citizens, law-abiding, tax-paying. Like, they could be people who would want, or people who would have entered under Trump's gold card or whatever. I mean, probably way less of that because it's $1 million or whatever. But
in the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic.
Dorito says, I remember a while back reading that Mexico was complaining about so many Americans moving there. I don't know if true, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's possible. Nobody talks about Kamala getting Mexico to pay for part of the wall that Trump could not do. Oh, did that happen, Kelly? I wasn't aware of that.
A hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation.
Seeking power and profit at the expense of our nation. Who does that? Who does that sound like? Trump coin? Who does that sound like? Trump phone that no one's ever getting? Who does that sound like? Biggest tax cuts for the rich? Look
at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions.
Taken over, like, what a phrase. Somalians have taken over the economics of the state. Now, we did a panel about this. It's true that, what is it, like, it's like 80 people, most of them Somalian, led by primarily one white woman, by the way, did steal up to, potentially up to $1 billion. That's like the high-end estimate of the fraud here. I mean, that's true. It's a very, very tiny percentage of the Somali population, right? Stephen Miller talking point, yeah.
Billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States.
Definitely not billions. Definitely not billions. Maybe $1 billion. It's possible it was $1 billion. And it's bad. And those people should go to jail. but they're also like U.S. citizens, right? A lot of them are people. I mean, presumably a lot of them might have been people who came here on like refugee programs or whatever. But like, we don't even know that. That's not verified right now. At least nothing I could find. Like a lot of them could have been just born here and just might have Somali ancestry or whatever. They're just Somali Americans.
United States of America, and we're going to put an end to it for so long as before my election.
And also the indictments and the cases, all the stuff that's being talked about right now regarding the Somali fraud cases in Minnesota. All the investigations and cases started under Biden, by the way. So Biden's DOJ.
The vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day. Not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation has stopped. Wages are up.
Inflation is about where it was when you came in, if not, like basically the same. Thanks to Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe.
Prices are down. Our nation is strong.
Some prices might be down.
America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected.
What does certain to its destiny mean?
Again, like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Trump. We are allowed to say Merry Christmas again, by the way, thanks to Trump. He did do that. He made it okay to say Merry Christmas again. They were trying to stop you. But he came in and said, no. Let him say Merry Christmas. And we got to give him credit for that. So it looks like ChatGPT failed. The chart was so bad it couldn't even find. Good point, Nightbot, about liking the stream, subscribing to the channel if you're new, getting yourself a membership if you don't mind, picking up a membership, getting access to some of the greatest emotes, maybe some of the lamest emotes, but also some of the greatest emotes in the game. Also, we love super chats. You can support the stream. Super chats, super thanks even if you're watching in the future. You can even gift memberships to other people as well. You can send a number of gifted memberships, whether it's 1 or 100. You can send them, and random people will be selected, and they will receive a membership. And it makes 3 different parties happy, right? It makes you happy because you get to give the gift of giving. It makes me happy because I get your hard-earned money, and it becomes my hard-earned money. And then also it makes the people who receive your gifts happy because they also get number one, just the dopamine hit of being selected randomly from the gifted membership, but also they get access to all the benefits of being a member. Okay, give me a bottom line. The math behind the bars can be made to check out using the White House stated methodology and Freddie Mac census Fred inputs, but the graphic is cherry-picking friendly, attribution-heavy framing rather than neutral mortgage costs under X. This is about new buyer payments. Well, it does say new yearly mortgage cost. Did you see the plaque under Biden and Obama's pictures in the White House? Not sure if you talked about it. No, I haven't. New plaque under Biden and Obama in White House. What does the plaque say? Nicknamed both Sleepy and Crooked. Oh, epic. Joe Biden was dominated by his radical left handlers. They and their allies in the fake news media attempted to cover up his severe mental decline and his unprecedented use of the auto pen. The second plaque reads, following his humiliating debate loss to President Trump in the big June 2024 debate, he was forced to withdraw from his campaign for re-election and disgrace. Wild. Wild. Thank you, Mr. President, for that. Thank God. Well, that's that. There's one above that too for Biden. Or you mean Obama? That was Biden's. Those were both Biden's, right? Do I want to do a panel? Alexander.
Well, then your intent isn't as meaningful there, because if based on your reaction, we know if you knew, you wouldn't have done it. But now, based on the action of not giving a shit, right? We don't know that you wouldn't have done it if you did know.
I have no idea what they're talking about, and I'm not interested enough to find out. So, I think... Do we get a bottom line for these? A bunch of these are classic political stat talking points. They're either true. So back to, this is a review. This is ChatGPT's review of all the facts that we tried to explore. They're either true only under a very specific definition, like CPI subindex, wholesale not retail, peak month cherry pick, big assumed mortgage, or flatly unsupported. The murder gang numbers 25 million, 600%, zero allowed, etc. The claims that are easiest to verify with hard data are the ones that hold up somewhat, but often with inflated wording. Those would be the CPI components, the election outcome, DC 2024 crime drop, recruiting goal attainment. What would change my mind on the unsupported ones? A primary PDF or data release from the DHS, DOJ, CBP. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be careful with even this stuff, though. Not a campaign memo with clear definitions and a reproducible method. Okay, yeah, sure, that's fair. I wouldn't doubt if Trump has antisocial personality disorder. Yeah, that seems quite likely. Did Grok give a final thoughts on the end of it? No. Summary scorecard. So most of the claims were true. It looks like the majority of the claims were true. Overall pattern, the claims work best when they're comparing current conditions to Biden-era peaks. Inflation, gas prices, border crossings. They become unreliable when citing specific statistics. Turkey down 33%, eggs down 82%, 25 million immigrants, or making sweeping characterizations. 8 wars ended, billions stole by Somalians. Do you guys have sound? Do you guys not have sound? Testing. It looks fine on my end. Yeah, okay. Lindsay says your sound is fine. Looks like it's something on your end, Cali Dime. Had to go out and back, I hear now. Interesting. So you did lose it. Weird. Just reset your YouTubes. Yeah, just do a refresh. Anyway, I think that's probably it for tonight. If there's any final memes you guys want to talk about, let me know. But I think I'm gonna raid you guys out somewhere. Josh says, "Oh yeah, you read like the snippet, but the actual plaques. There's a picture. There are 2 pretty long ones about him being corrupt and sleepy. Brought us to the brink of destruction. Beautiful. We love to see it. Thank you, Joe Biden, for bringing us to the brink of destruction. And still, somehow, we survived. And somehow, that sleepy Joe Biden, corrupt and useless and sleepy as he was, got us down to 3% inflation, which is roughly where inflation is at currently, 9 months in to Donald Trump's presidency. Inflation has stayed about as low as it was. So Good job, Joe and Trump. Them my boys. They did it together. Make sure you like the stream. Please like the stream if you have not done that yet. Like the stream on your way out. I'm going to send you guys to Non-Fawn. Non-Fawn's watching Destiny versus Dinesh D'Souza. That could be interesting. I kind of want to cover that at some point. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really watch Destiny debates anymore. I was mad that Destiny invaded my safe space on Pisco's stream yesterday. I'm sending you guys to Non-Fawn. Maybe. Wait, let me see if he's how long he's been live and if he's gonna end soon. Also, Lethe Waterkai was on Speakeasies tonight doing immigration debate. W. Lethe.
That's our national crisis. It's not even clear whether IEPA.
Yeah, we'll send you guys here. Tell Non-Fawn learning is radical. Good to see him streaming again. I feel like he hadn't been streaming for a while. Let me make sure that I set the thing to send you there. Excuse me. Yes, you're going to Non-Fawn. Beautiful. All right. Love you guys. Learning is radical. And drink some water, get a wiener dog, pet it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I didn't do hot sauce. I forgot about my hot sauce advent calendar. We have day 4. I think we're 1 day behind. We got a Chipotle hot sauce today. We'll do this real quick. All right. And then I'll send you guys the Non-Fawn. We got Chipotle hot sauce. Let's see if it's going to be any good. Get ourselves a Triscuit. For those who don't know, I have an advent calendar. Does a 12 days of hot sauce leading up to Christmas. And I've missed a day or so. So, damn this thing. I thought they would get hotter every day, but they don't seem to be doing that. Because yesterday was a mild mango that was actually really chill. Callie says, that's cool. My husband would love that. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great gift. I'm really glad my sister got it for me. I'm pretty excited about it. It's fun. I like hot sauce, but I don't like the demon crazy hot sauce. 5 minute wait. No, it's only take like a second. I was about to ask about the hot sauce. Yeah, we got it. Here we go. We got our Chipotle hot sauce. Here we go. I mean, I'll taste it. We'll see how I react, and if it's too painful, then I'll stay on, and you guys can watch me suffer. Not particularly spicy. I feel like they went really hard on sauce number 2. Stronger than the mango one for sure. They went really hard on the sauce number 2 with the Carolina Reaper. But, yeah, not bad. A little smoky, as you'd expect like a Chipotle sauce to be. Pretty good. Dorito says, my lab and I are planning to start streaming and compete with you and your weenie dog. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Give it a minute. No, it doesn't. No, I feel like it's settled. It's like not bad at all. I thought it was gonna get hotter. I think maybe they're trying to like lower my guard, like with the mild mango and then this kind of like slight kick. It's yeah, the first one was hotter than this. But anyway, I'm sending you guys to Nonfon. Tell them learning is radical. I'm going to chug the rest of this hot sauce. And I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.